Hi, Steve. Kerr Burke, NBC Sports Bay Area. This game started out with some really great defense. In the fourth quarter, the Pacers were able to rattle off a 13-0 run. What was the trouble just getting some stops and squashing their momentum?
Well, we had a hard time containing Aaron Holiday. He did a great job throughout the game, but in the fourth quarter, his penetration, getting into the teeth of our defense, and then moving the ball on, and then we couldn't get anything going, because we were taking the ball out of the net, and from their made field goals and free throws, we didn't get much flow ourselves offensively. So give all the credit to Indiana. They're a tough team, even without Oladipo, and on a back-to-back. They earned it. They played a great game tonight.
Do you think you're at the point where you should just assume that defenses are going to play box and one against Steph?
Yeah. People are going to throw everything at Steph, and that'll be a big theme this season, and we've got to do a better job getting comfortable attacking what people are throwing at us, and we'll get better with it.
Is he getting fatigued, do you think, at all?
I don't think so. I don't think he's fatigued. I think it's it's seeing slightly different pictures, in front of him, just with the defense that he's seeing. Being basically teams are either jumping out and soft blitzing him, or playing a box and one like Indiana did quite a bit tonight, and so it's slightly different pictures. It's also a new team, as we've talked about during the first part of this season, and so a lot of guys aren't used to playing with Steph. So a lot of the secondary actions that maybe we would have gotten a few years ago, we're not quite ready to see those pictures and add on those layers offensively, and that's got to come. We've got to do a better job, obviously.
Steve, when you've been on teams in the past where defenders are loading up on a particular guy, as they have been with Steph through the first few weeks, how long does that process usually take for everybody else to get comfortable with the looks that they're seeing and being able to create the space for him off of what he's seeing?
Well, every team is different, and to be honest, in my years in the NBA, as a player, I don't remember anybody playing box and one. I don't think it was legal when I played, but even in my years coaching, just over the last couple of years, teams have started to run some box and one. Obviously, we have different personnel now, which is contributing to what teams are doing. They're sort of playing the odds, and so they're just going to make other people try to beat them. But the good news is, if you play a box and one, it's 3-on-2 all day, and if you get organized and get sharp, then there's going to be great shots, and that's what we have to do. Is as a staff, we've got to help our players get organized and execute better against this kind of stuff.
How much?
What do you think, Eric's?
How much did that second unit miss Pascal tonight?
Well, yeah, that's become a really formidable group, and obviously we've run most of our offense through Eric over these last 4 or 5 games with that group. So we missed him, but they didn't have Victor Oladipo, so this is just how it's going this season for every team. There's a lot of absences, and you got to be ready to roll no matter who you have out there.
Steve, we talked about James's challenge tonight against Sabonis. How do you think he did?
I thought James did well. There was so every night is a good night for James, even though it's going to be frustrating for him at times. He was frustrated with his 4th foul that he picked up early or late in this first half. But it's a great experience to go through it and to understand how you have to play with fouls, how you have to play against a team, playing zone as a big. What are your responsibilities? And so, this is a real challenge for our team and for James to try to, piece all this together on the fly with teams throwing a lot of different defenses at us. It's there's a lot going on for James, for somebody who's, only been in the league for a few weeks. So great experience. It's going to be frustrating at times, but he's going to get better as a result.
I know we don't know how long Eric will be out, but do you anticipate using Draymond as the 5 in that kind of closing group going forward?
Not necessarily. It just depends. It could be Loon. Loon's been in our closing group often, so we'll see.
How does a 4-3 homestand sound to you?
I'm sorry?
How does a 4-3 homestand sound to you?
Well, not as good as 5-2 would have sounded, but we all in all we're making strides. We're doing, I think, very well defensively in general. Since the first couple of games, obviously, Draymond has changed our team in that regard. Kelly and Andrew continue to play great defense out on the perimeter. I think Andrew had 5 blocks today. I thought Kelly's defense on Malcolm Brogdon was a huge factor in the game. So a lot of really good signs and bright spots. So we're going to get a lot better as we go. And I would say over the 7-game homestand, we made some big strides.
Is the defense better than you thought it would be 11 games in?
Excuse me?
Is the defense better than you thought it would be 11 games in?
Well, it's better than I thought it would be after we were 0-2. I can tell you that. We were horrific defensively at that point. But everything with this team is new. James and Draymond missing training camp set us back. So it just feels to me like we've caught up to where we need to be defensively. We're putting in good efforts every night. We're using our strengths, the length and athleticism that we have. So the defense is rounding into form. The offense is a work in progress for sure.
Steve, after a pretty clean first half, I think you guys had 11 or 12 turnovers in the second half. They ended up with 24 points off turnovers. How much of a factor was that in you guys not being able to hold on in the second half?
It was a huge factor, Monty. I just thought we got in a rush in the second half. We made some poor decisions with the ball. Anytime you see a defense like that, that's going to, kind of play a box and one or some kind of zone, it's really important to make quick, sharp decisions. And I thought I did not think we did that. I thought we sort of were indecisive with the ball, tried to dribble into traffic, tried to make several sort of strange interior passes, wraparound passes, bounce passes to James when we should be throwing lobs. So plenty to see on tape, plenty to improve.
Did you have any conversations with Clay?
Yeah,
today?
yeah. Talked to Clay before the game. It was great to see him. He's in really good spirits. He's happy to be up here with his teammates, and he's, in his words, the worst is behind him. He's got the boot on. He's going to be able to get into the pool next week and start running in the pool, and so he was very upbeat about everything. It's great to see him.
Do you do a lot of 3-on-1 fast break drills with Draymond?
Excuse me?
Do you do a lot of 3-on-1 fast break drills with Draymond?
Well, I'll invite you to practice so you can come. Or maybe I'll show you my practice plan. We do lots of drills.
No, but in all seriousness, how impressive was that play from the bench?
Was which play?
The 3-on-1 he stopped. The 3-on-1 fast break he stopped by himself.
Yeah, it was amazing. I thought Draymond's defense tonight was fantastic. He looks like his old self. He's playing with that chip on his shoulder, and he's guarding everybody out on the floor and playing with that fierce energy that he's known for. So Draymond's been great.